Hey, good morning, folks. Good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Tuesday, January 4, 2022, and the time is 6:31 a.m. Yeah, this is my monitor that you see from the movie Ocean's 11. It came out in 2001, and yes, as you see, I was just watching it on HBO Max. I want to talk to you about some thoughts about it. Yeah, this movie came out in 2001, and so much was happening in my life back then. In 2001, I had just arrived. Let's see, I came back to live in New York City uh, in July of that same year. And boy, trying to get back in the swing of things, of being away for a couple of years, out of state, way out of state, that is. And I remember when this movie was advertised, the billboards and commercials on it. I didn't go see it. I wasn't really into these type of movies. But boy, is this something. These are all, like the people that you see, these are all well-known actors. And I just knew of one of them, the one in the middle. Um, yeah, I saw him in this movie, I think, Incredible Mr. Ripley or something like that. Oh, and Julia Roberts is in the back. I didn't even recognize her in this photo. I didn't know that she was going to be in the movie. But I just finished watching it. And as I say, yes, good morning, viewer, good morning. I hope the audio is good. Oh, make sure the mic, I have the mic on. Let me know if it's working okay. Because the last time 2 videos ago when I used this same mic, it wasn't in properly. So just give me, a one type of one in that you can hear me okay before I really get started. I'll appreciate it. Yeah, make sure I push it all the way in. Yeah, wow. Watching this movie was amazing. Amazing through a perspective, though. A perspective of like awakening. Yeah, I'm on a quest. Boy, my whole mindset. Okay. Yeah, I saw you. I guess you could hear. Could you hear? Yeah, all those calls. Are you a Putnam? Are you a who are you? I never seen you before, but you could at least say if you can hear me or not. I don't know what those codes means. Is it just be? Am I just being watched? Am I just being watched, or what do you call a robot? See that? Oops, goes down. See that? Oh, let me put the. Oh, I see what happened. I see. You know what I thought would happen? I thought my tablet went dark. It was my monitor. Yeah, this is my monitor. Yeah, I had to just move the mouse. But yeah, wow. Doing this movie, watching this movie was something else. Um, just in retrospect, what I was doing. This movie came out going on 21 years. This year will make it 21 years. This coming out, and boy, they look young. It's really something. And here I get someone in the chat room. putting, typing like a code, whatever. You know, this is really, really saying something to me. You know, the New Year's is really just getting started. It's the 4th of January. And I think this year is going to be a really, really stealth year. This is really something, people. Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this video. Um, if you stay on, you know with me that I'm very long-winded. I don't purposely try to be long-winded. Sometimes it's just getting my thoughts out. But see, when you stay with me, you say, "Oh, that's what she's getting out." It takes me time sometimes to really get, to really put the pieces together. Because, see, yes, this is my spiritual journey. And sometimes when I'm observing something, that it comes together as I'm discussing it. So let me begin. Well, with that comment that, someone wrote in the comment section, code, this year, it's confirming that this year is going to be a year of putting the puzzles together. They're going to be more brazen, yet still stealth, if that makes any sense. Two things are going to be happening at once. Want to cover up and show at the same time. And interesting with this movie, Ocean's 11, that came out in 2001. Well, what happened in 2001? Many of us were around in 2001. Here I came back to New York City to live. And that big, big happening in Lower Manhattan, yes, certain things, certain words I cannot say. It might cause problems with the algorithms. So I have to be really careful about certain trigger words. But we all know what happened on September, the date of the 11th. And it fell on a Tuesday, actually. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, a lot was happening at that time. And something that shocked the world, if you know what I'm getting at. It changed a lot of things. And, when that particular day occurred, communication was interfered with. People were scrambling. I know I was. I saw everything on television. And it was a wake up call. And, this movie, I think, was a wake up call regarding why is it called Ocean's 11? Why? Well, 11, the number, I'm not an expert or anything like that about numerology, but I heard that the number 11 is like a warning number, Mayday type of thing. And you think of those two buildings that got hit. Remember, it looked like the number 11. I didn't check on the internet what day this movie was released. But any of you who's watching, you could write in the comment section what day this film was released to the public. I have a feeling that this movie was released in the summer because there's a lot of action. I have many different stars. I would imagine a movie like this would come out for the summer rather than the fall. And I gather that this movie was to introduce people that something was ahead, that it was a master plan. What happened on Tuesday, this September the 11th. See, there you go. Or another person with a weird name. Yes, good morning. All these exotic names. This is really interesting, people. Another person wrote in the comment section, uh, never seen these YouTubers uh, avatars before. But hey, you want to enjoy the show? You're welcome to it. Well, let me say, I'm going to like hold back a little bit. I'm going to talk about Ocean's 11, but I'm reminded that something happened to me just yesterday. I got the most bizarrest call yesterday in the afternoon. Now I was just doing my dog's hair, and my phone rang, and so I was just to let it go into, let the answer machine answer it, and they started to leave a message. Never heard of this gentleman, and it was a man's voice, um, like 30s, 30. It sounded like in his 30s or 40s or something. Uh, an accent too. He mentioned something about some hotel. He said something like, oh, something about, I guess you're not at the hotel. Something about a hotel. So I was curious, because see, a lot of phone calls I get are, um, people, those electronic calls, those computers that call up people randomly, and sometimes they might solicit, and sometimes they just don't say anything, but they just call in. And so I don't like, if I'm not at the phone, um, and the phone rings, I usually let it go in the, oh, another person commenting. All these exotic names. See, this is really something. Yeah, see, I guess this is the age of being watched. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, people. You just stand your ground. Stand your ground. Well, anyway, yeah, this is an interesting story what happened yesterday. So I hear that someone is actually talking on the phone. It's not like a computer, whatever, but an actual person. I didn't know who this person was. So I walk over, pick up the phone, and I said, "Hello, who's this?" And I was trying to get. He was talking kind of fast. I didn't know what he was talking about initially, but the guy had an extremely heavy Southern accent, real what people may call a an archetype, just like in Ocean's 11. These are all archetypes. Very strong, what we call a Southern accent, way south, very rural. That would be more accurate. And I didn't recognize the number, on the screen. He doesn't give his name, but he said, how do you word it now? Well, he started like threatening me, and he said something like he's the FBI, and uh, you you you're not at the hotel or something. And I said, I'm sorry, sir, but I didn't call you. He said, well, I'm returning your call. The call came on this number. I said, well, I didn't dial any number. You're calling me, and I've never called you before. He said, well, we can't, well, I'm not wrong, and that I'm just calling the number that came on came on the screen. And we see, how do you go? We have something about five something about five guys, how do you say, five suspects. I think that's the word, yeah. About 5 male suspects. He's trying to sound like he knew what he was talking about, but it sounds really dumb. So something about 5 male suspects of yours and at the hotel, and we're gonna come and we're gonna get you. This is the FBI. Blah 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 blah. I said FBI. I said I didn't call it FBI. I said, sir, I kept repeating, sir, you dialed the wrong number. He says, well, they have the same voice, voice accent or something like a voice, your accent or something like about the way I talk. It's just like this other fellow. I said, I don't know any other fellow. And you dialed the wrong number. And they kept repeating, this is the FBI. He's trying to scare me. He sounds so amateurish, really stupid, and trying to scare me. He says, you better hide because we're gonna come and we're gonna get you. Now, why would the FBI call and warn a person that they're on the way to arrest somebody? People, unreal, unreal. I should have left something like that. I should have left the answer machine get the whole call, because you wouldn't believe the foolishness of this man. And even when I kept repeating, I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Sir, you dialed the wrong number. No one, because see, what could happen that when people are trying to like scam or, whatever, they could electronically call somebody, and if they have call waiting, they can put anything for you to see. They can type in any number, so that when you pick up, like person number one has one number, but he could disguise it and have it show another number, another telephone number, another zip code, another area code, completely different, and make the phone call. And so when you call back, you're going to call the number that you see on the screen. So I guess my number was just by chance, and the person that called me, uh, their number flashed. It just said wireless phone call. Yeah. And that was it. So people, don't call people. I mean, if someone is telling you that you dialed the wrong number and you're going on and on and on by being some FBI dude, and that how you're warning them that you're going to come and get them to arrest them, come on, don't waste your time and be more creative. Be a little bit more creative in your intimidations. Obviously, there's no one that I sound like, or troublemaker. Just hang up. It was just so comical. He sounded like a very stereotype, um, minimum education, poor, rural person. Yeah, sorry, the screen went. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, so that's what happened. But interesting, I think that movie, that incident from yesterday with the wrong call and guy lying to be from the FBI is maybe a a a clue of what's going to happen this year. Okay, this is the beginning of the New Year's, and what trend is going to be for me for the remainder of this year. And so far, I got like 3 or 4 people who had come on and put a comment in the chat room of these exotic names and weird codes in it. All that I can say is, anyone can watch. If you got something intellectual to share, share it. Don't waste people's time like that southern guy or rural guy. Don't waste my time trying to scare me or my regular viewers. Try to look important, whatever. Be a real man or woman and show who you really are, or just go to sleep. Yeah, I don't want people to waste my time. So anyway, that's what happened to me yesterday. And now, here I watched this movie at random on HBO, Ocean's 11. And I think this movie is a clue about what life is about, as I talked about wrote in the description. Ocean's 11. Now, I had no desire to see this movie when it came out, going on 21 years ago. Wasn't into movies like this, had other interests. But now I see things with different eyes now. Yeah, back then I was very old school. I'm still old school, but I had a different mindset um, into the Bible. And now it's like I'm on a spiritual quest rather than a religious quest. And I asked myself, since 2001, what is life really about? You can start things in life. So I'm going to do A, B, and C. You go out of your way to try to push things, to go on a particular career path, let's say, and it falls apart. Well, maybe life has something else for you. And that no matter what you do, there is you're in a system, a matrix. And this movie, Ocean's 11, seemed to open up about matrix. My idea of the Matrix, the movie that came out in 1999, about reality, and that these people in the movie The Matrix were in little pods, and everything in their world was computer generated. That people are in the know. Now, in this movie, Ocean's 11, is sharing about secrets, I think. And I think the secret that this movie was designed to show was the coming disaster in Manhattan and in those other locations with those planes. Again, I want to talk very carefully about certain words because I don't want this to be flagged. But it's interesting. Life is really getting interesting. And so when I was watching this movie, Ocean's 11, I started laughing because you ever take life really seriously? There, that's what I also put in the title name of this live stream. I take life so seriously, so seriously. I feel like I'm in a movie, like it's all a show, but you think it's real. And I start to think what's happening around me is real. But yesterday's call was a reminder it's a big joke. And maybe I should see life as a big joke like that dude. Sound like the most uneducated dummy. from the deep, deep South or whatever, trying to convince me he's an FBI and he's going to come and get me. And he said it. Sorry about that. It was glitching there. Yeah, okay, it's back on. Yeah, sometimes, like myself, I'm watching the screen, so to speak, and it looks so real. And you get all emotional because of the drama that's happening before you. And September, that Tuesday in September, on the 11th, was one of those days. It was a very serious day when that happened. It was actually a beautiful looking day. It was not a cloud in the sky. It was very blue. The weather, the temperature was beautiful. School had started for college kids. And that particular day is usually the first day of school in New York City, at least when I was a child. And I took things seriously, crying. Actually, on this day, on that infamous Tuesday in New York City, I woke up at 2 o'clock that morning and I was crying, crying, crying. And I fell asleep at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then 2 hours later, when I got up, that the world would be changed with that event that happened in Manhattan with those buildings. But this movie here, Ocean's 11, is reminding me that it's just another drama, but don't take it too seriously. Don't take movies like this. Don't take life seriously. And I was taking life seriously. And New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, I took life very seriously. And it was weighing on me. But as I started watching this movie, Ocean's 11, a moment ago, I started to see, okay, the number 11 jumped out at me because number 11 is about chaos and about those two buildings that fell. This movie was a warning, I feel, but it make it so entertaining. It was entertaining, this movie. It was well done. You have these are top actors, and they're kind of falling out the scene now. You don't really see them anymore. But of this day, 20 plus years ago, these some of them were really on top. This movie had to show the archetypes. Think of an archetype as a flavor. When you look at the characters, they project an image, an attitude. There's really no guesswork. What you see is what you get. And they all play different characters. They did have other races in this movie too. They had black characters, and one person that looked like an East Asian fellow. You had those who played Eastern European characters. They were all of different socioeconomic personas. And what this movie also exploited, it exploited those personas. Like, for example, they did have black characters in it, and they were part of the scam. Now this movie, Ocean's 11, is about robbery. These are all thieves that you see here. They're thieves. They have different talents, but they're all thieves. Okay, and their job was to, the guy in the front. He was the mastermind behind this heist, and it actually was based on, okay, he was a thief, and had gotten caught for something in the past, and he was arrested. And the movie begins with him being, going through like a parole board or something like that. Why you should release somebody. Yeah, I got another person on the chat room. Yeah, be a little bit more, bold and at least say hello. Yeah, I don't know those codes. See, I feel like if you're going to talk to somebody, talk to them. Be bold. At least say hello. Be polite. Can't stand these people that they go in the chat room or these things and they have these codes. I don't need that. Saying hello, at least is polite. Yeah, and then when you go on their channel, they don't have it, there's nothing there. But anyways, yeah, so this man in the movie, he was a thief. He was going through the board, the parole board, why they should release him, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, he makes his excuse. And he has a very, yeah, he's very handsome, but jive. That's his way. He has a very jive spirit. I don't trust him at all, but he knows how to charm people. So in life, you have people, they might have all the good looks, they're charmers, but they are phony. But it's something that the viewer, who's watching the movie. So it's really interesting, you know. So each of these flavors. So the guy, he gets out of jail, and then he contacts his old contacts. He doesn't learn um, about changes his life around and stop doing crime, but he goes back to commit a very, very big heist. And he acquired 11 men to do this. And it turns out he did all this to win his wife back. And his wife was involved with an owner of some casinos in Las Vegas. And you learn that towards the middle of the movie, what was really motivating him. But so the archetypes now, because that was what the excuse. He wanted to get his old girl back. He likes a gamble. He likes the rush of taking high risks, and he wanted to gamble and see if he could win his old wife back. So the archetypes now, like they had a black fellow in the movie, and he was again in on the scam, but they're all playing parts. So he's working. The black fellow is working in the casino as a cover, and then one of the other characters, a white character, pretends to be an official from I think the FBI, and that he's part of the crimes unit. Sorry, keep forgetting I have to, move the mouse after a few minutes. Sorry about that. Yes, so the mouse, I'm sorry. So he's pretending to be a character of, I think the FBI it was, and that they discovered that the black fellow had worked in casinos in the past, and he was a thief, and so he's being arrested, but it was all part of yeah, I remember. So it was a pretense to bring that man to another location. See, everything is about distractions. This movie showed that there are many distractions that happen. You know, the distractions were, in this movie to distract the fact that they wanted to rob a casino and they wanted the girl back. You know, the guy wanted his old wife back. And so they did many theatrics, the different flavors, archetype characters in the movie. And again, this black character was playing his part. And so they're in a in an interrogation room, and the black guy was using the race card and said, "Oh, you don't like black people trying to make a way in life and blah blah blah," and he's using pejorative names against the white fellow who's also in on it. And then he says, "Oh, something to the effect like he likes black people. He believes, giving minorities a chance in life and blah blah blah." And then he slipped and said the word um, colored people, something like that. Now, nothing in itself wrong with colored people, but it's a very archaic term referring to uh, uh, black people in the United States. Oh, Lila, oh, sorry, my little girl just jumped out. She usually barks. I put her in the stroller and she jumped out. She usually barks and when she wants to get down. I hope you didn't fall out. Yeah, she's okay. Sorry about that. Yes, surprise is there. So either way, so when the white character used the term colored people, that he cares about colored people, and then the black guy used that as an excuse, like it's almost equivalent to saying the N word. Okay, and that's how he took it. But again, it's all part of the illusion, the distraction, people. This is all about a distraction. So they start to fight, they made it look like they were really fighting and they were pulled apart, but this was all a cover. So why did I mention about this? See, these are archetypes. Imagine again, you're looking at a screen. Here, this is a screen right in front of me. You're looking at a screen, and you can get pulled into the characters of a movie. But life is a movie. We go about in life, and then let's say if you're a black person in America, the race card, like in this movie. Sorry, I had to just pull this cord. Yeah, you have a movie. I mean, you have real life situations. Sorry about that. See, it's glitching. See, it doesn't want me to tell the truth about things. Sorry about that. Yeah. That life, whether it be a screen like we're watching now, or in front of the screen where I am, there's really no difference. Really. I go through, we all go through instances of, let's say someone calling you, let's say you're a black person, and someone says a pejorative name for you. Or let's say you're just walking down the street and let's say you get robbed. There are things that happen to you. And then you can get bent out of shape. Have any of you ever got bent out of shape because someone called you a name or something happened to you, let's say at a job? We are all playing characters. And the race card in America is a big one. But like in this movie, the black guy and the white guy were all in on the heist. And it was just a game to be used as a distraction so that when the next person had to move in the heist, They wouldn't be their cover wouldn't be blown. Each one of these people had played the part, all of them. And there was stereotype characters. All of them were like what are called archetype characters, such as that black person being called colored. Now, why did they show that? Why would that be such a trigger? See, see, Hollywood knows people. It knows characters. It knows what presses people's buttons. And we go through life like myself, and we can get triggered. There can be all types of triggers. And then this reminds me of the movie, when I say the word trigger, the movie, the new movie that just came out, The Matrix. It came out just maybe 2 weeks ago. What happened in the new movie, The Matrix, the Resurrection? Where they said towards the end of the movie, they gave a clue. And the clue was about, how did it go? About people, like they have people go through these traumas. And Neo was going through a lot of stress, the character Neo of the movie The Matrix, the lead guy. And what was he being explained to at one point? He was talking to, I think, one of the designers of the Matrix, his boss. And he's told him that, having people go through certain things, like they had Neo go through all this drama. It was with him and the girl, his love interest in the movie. And that the creator of the Matrix he discovered that when he kept Neo and his love interest near each other and have them interact while in the Matrix, in the illusion, he put tension between them. He made it so that they didn't really know each other, but they actually did know each other, but he gave them amnesia. But he placed them near each other and in the Matrix and in the pods that they were actually living in to create the maximum effect of emotion. And that was what was being, that was the whole point of generating as much tension, energy, conflict as a battery source. And I said to myself, wow, when I was watching this movie, Ocean's 11, about the maximum effect, and it triggered my memory with The Matrix, the new one, Resurrections, about producing the maximum effect to get energy. And what was happening, wasn't on Tuesday, September 11th, that in 2001, wasn't that about maximum effect also, to see 2 buildings collapse? Also in this movie, what did they show? They showed the casino being exploded. What do you call it? Controlled demolition. That was another key thing. He was to get rid of a casino because he's going to build another even bigger, fancier one. Well, isn't this a clue? Wasn't the system that involved in making this movie might have had a heads up about what was to occur on September 11th of that same year? Hello? And they showed, interesting, that they showed one scene of one of the other people who was in on the heist. He was a techie guy, and he's watching the television in front of him of the building under controlled demolition. And then behind him, because he's also in Las Vegas, you see the actual building collapsing behind him. So it's double effect. Double effect. So you saw the one building on the TV screen collapsing, and then they showed his rear view of the building collapsing. So that's two buildings. Hello, people. Hello, people. Isn't that a clue? Isn't that signifying two buildings are to collapse? And did it in real life, that fateful Tuesday on September 1 1? Remember the news reporter who was talking, she was talking about the day's event of the the World Trade Center, collapse. And then as she's saying that, behind her, like in the movie Ocean's 11, they show the building collapse behind her. People, do you get what I'm saying? They're all in on it. And she was announcing that the building, I don't want to get this wrong. I think she said that it had already fallen. And she's talking, and then it falls. They know they're playing us stupid. They're playing you stupid. What is this movie about? This movie is about trickery and deception, and to introduce the phase that was going to happen later on that year. I believe this movie came out during the summer, earlier summer, for the kids. It's a very action-filled movie, but I could be wrong. Those of you who know when it came out, let me know. But I think this came out during the summer, when the school was out. Let me know. So just like in real life and in this movie, you have different characters, and some of the characters got more involved in the role than others. But it's all a part of the show. People pretending to be something they are not. And at the very end of this movie, Ocean's 11, he does get his wife back. But he says, let me move the mouse. Had to move the mouse. Sorry. Um, the 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 wife says, I think it was the wife. She says that someone. Oh yeah. The the wife also got played. See see the husband. See the guy in the front. He played the husband, the former husband, and the girl is in the back, and she was to play the former wife, and the former wife was with this owner of a casino that is expanding. He's really making a lot of money. It's really about revenge. And so he played on the emotions. And she was played too, so to speak. She doesn't know that she was played, but see, towards the end of the movie, um, they have they make a deal. The guy and the owner of the club, that how they're going to take the money, and he requests. He says, "Give me the girl." He says, "I'll give you. You give me the girl, and I'll let you have the money or something to that effect. And then the guy says, "I'll give you the girl," something like he didn't care about the girl. He'll give up the girl for the money. And as he's saying that, he had it he was making a video of that, and he told the girl, well, they phoned the girl, says, "Hey, watch channel such and such." So she goes watch channel such and such, and that was the channel of the video that's being played of the ex-husband and the casino owner disputing over the heist that's being done on him, and that he wanted the girl back, his wife back. And when he gambled right that he would choose the money over the girl. And so as he's saying, the new boyfriend is saying, "I don't want the girl. I'll take the money." It hurt her feelings. Of course, he gambled on that. And then she's leaving the premises, and as she's leaving, she bumps into her boyfriend and gives him a mean look. And she says, "You should have known better, but," and especially because it's your hotel, "there's always someone watching." So she's giving him a clue that she overheard what he said about her. So uh, she leaves him. And the boyfriend, I mean, the ex husband, um, he had gotten arrested, which was part of the game also, because when you're in parole, you're not supposed to go out of state. So the boyfriend says, "Well, I'm gonna call the cops on you because I don't think your parole board, being out of state." So yeah, he knew he gambled. It would cost him, this heist will only cost him, according to the movie, 4 to 6 months in jail. So he does his time, and yes, and they did get the money. Oh, I see. It's sunrise now. Yeah, yesterday's sunrise was at 7:20, and I'm seeing the time here. It's let me put the. It's 7:24. Yes, good morning, sunrise. Yeah, so sunrise was about 7:20 today. So I just want to welcome in the sunrise. Good morning, sunrise. Good morning, good morning. Yeah. Yeah, I like welcoming the sunrise and the dawn of the day and dusk. I think they're beautiful times of the day. Well, anyway, yeah. So the wife was very, said something that was very true. There's always someone watching. And that signified to me, look at the dollar bill. What does the dollar bill show? This is all occulted. This is all occult. That, like with 9/11, I'm sure a lot of people saw what was going on. Someone is always watching. And the dollar bill, the pyramid, and it has the all seeing eye. So, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, in the very, very end of this movie, okay, the wife uh, waits for the husband to get out of jail. She's driven there by one of the helpers who was in on it, and they drove away together, all lovey-dovey. But then they were being watched too. Behind them, at a distance, was another vehicle, and there was two. I think they were twins, big dudes, and they worked for the guy, the owner of the hotel that they just ripped off. See that? We're always being watched. And the two guys, twins, like the Twin Tower. So this movie really wants you to pay attention to twins, doubles, 11s, about Mayday, and that you're always being watched. So this is what isn't with the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. They were always being watched. Always. They're being watched because they actually in that what that those cocoons. And even when you think you're doing something alone, you're always being watched. So it's really like life. Life, what's that expression that art imitates life or life imitates art? Aren't they the same, really? Look at now what the distraction is. You have, and who would have known with the what I call the bug juice? I'm going to call it bug juice. People are getting bug juice in the arm, and they have to walk around like a bandit. So they're stealing your life from you, and they're scaring you with a bandit on. Everybody's afraid of everybody. People were, losing their jobs, right? At least here in New York City, a lot of people lost jobs. Companies fell. Companies that were around that I used to go to in the village, it's all gone. I haven't been down there a couple of months. But man, everything is changing. You don't think people are watching these days? This this is a new. Didn't they say it's going to be something a new Pearl Harbor? Isn't what's happening now this January 2022? Isn't this a new Pearl Harbor? What's going on in the world today? A global attack on everybody. And I was really surprised at, I hope you guys could hear me. Could you hear the audio? Yeah, I'm really, yeah, this season, people are being shaken up. The they're putting a bigger squeeze. See the Tuesday, September 11th, that happened 20 plus years ago was a big squeeze, but it was focused. It was a focused attack. They were very specific on what they focused on, right? What was that? Three was it three planes or something like that? Three. But now the strike is more personal now. Now they are attacking our bodies through what I call the bug juice and forcing us to look like a bandit, if you know what I mean. More people are affected now. More people are being hurt now than what happened in September, that fateful day. Come on. Sorry. Hey, Laddie, come over here, big boy. Yeah, he's a good watchdog. Come here, big boy. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come. I'm sorry about that, guys. So, yeah. So, what does all this have to do with now? See, they do different phases of the strike. See, someone is always watching, and since that fateful day, we have all these cameras all over the city. Yet we don't. Yet we have more crime. We have cameras everywhere. Yet more crime, and now we have this new bug juice, but people aren't getting better. And if you look on the map on where these uh, the highest rates of people who are getting sick, where are people getting sick? In all the Western nations, the industrialized nations are the ones who got hit the hardest. It's a it's a takeover. See, they did the 9/11 again. The 9/11 was a trade. They attacked the commerce, and then they had attacked the that building with the five sides. Yeah. So now that wasn't enough, but they had initiated all these new laws and more restrictions upon people. And then you kind of forgot about it. But now the restrictions are now global, but especially in nations that you would think would be doing well. How come we're not doing well in these, well, allegedly, we're not doing well in these industrialized nations? But all these so called third world nations, they don't have the same death rate. They're doing better. So, people, what do you think is going on? What do you think is really going on? A heist is going on, like the Ocean's 11. Okay? They gave clues. I'm wondering now, what move? Oh, it came to my memory right now. There was a movie that came out about these pathogens not that long ago. That's right. That's right. There was a movie that came out, but I didn't see it though. But once this um, current situation occurred, people made mention of that movie on the internet. And then I checked it out. I said, oh, wow. See that? Someone is always in the know. It's like they introduce what they're going to do, and then they strike. And then to blindside you of when they're trying to set you up, they put these distractions. What distractions did they use in this real life situation for this to initiate the bug juice usage in your arm? They use again another race baiting um, issue. They use Smollett. They use George Floyd. They use BLM, right? And there are other things. Now, this country has over 300 million people. Why is the same thing being shown to you? Why? Because it works. Just like in this movie, Ocean's 11, they use the black race card. He just said the word color. That is not a bad word. And that's what black people were called. And it was not a pejorative, colored people. Yeah, I am a person of color, right? What's wrong with that? See, they're using these terms and they want you to be offended. They want you to react, people. And so when that skit happened in this movie, Ocean's 11, I started laughing because I saw the foolishness in it. And I saw the foolishness of things that happen in my personal life, of things that people might say or do to me to get a rise out of me, to make me sad, to make me want to cry, to, whatever, But this is all a part of the game to distract you. In this case, the distraction was done because he wanted money. In the Bible, it says money is the root of all kinds of evil. And what's on the back of the dollar, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, the all seeing eye, which oversees this current world system. They want, I mean, if you really analyze this movie, all he wanted was money so he can win his girl. Money. What are you going to do with the money? And people fighting over money. The all seeing eye has presented a game of monopoly over all of us. And this game of monopoly is about taking things, gathering things, and about money, hoarding the money. But it's to get you to be activated. It's causing you to go out. It's like someone tickling your back, and then so you go scratch it. They want you to scratch, so they keep tickling you, and we keep scratching. Well, like with any mosquito bite, once you know that bite is there, those of you who have good discipline, don't scratch it. The scratching will last maybe a minute or two. If you don't scratch it, it'll go away. The itching will stop. Initially it's there, you'll feel it, but don't react. They want you to react. And they're going to continue using the same weapon. Look at like this movie was in a casino, and people have decks of cards. People get impulsive. Are you getting a raw deal? Did you get a wrong deal? Someone hand you a wrong deck? Interesting that it's in a gambling place about money. People go to these casinos to gamble, to get money. And you know what else? One thing with a gambling casino, I was told there's no mirror, I'm sorry, no windows. There's no windows. You're stuck in a big room and it has a lot of lights. All of Las Vegas, it's about lights. Even with all those lights, you are still blinded, people. You are blind with all those lights in Las Vegas. You cannot see. You're trapped in a room with no windows, so you can't see whether it's day or light. They have the machine, and they all have bright lights. And then you get people deal you decks, and you just keep on feeding the house. The house wins. Very seldom does the house lose. Isn't this like the Matrix also? You and then you enter the game voluntarily. And then you lose and you get caught up and it's an addiction. And you can't stop playing. You can't stop. This is what the Matrix is designed to do. And you know what else is part of this whole secret? I'm reminded also a YouTuber just maybe 3 days ago, not to mention names, but she uploaded a video, and she talked about the system, about how this matrix worked, that about your emotions and what I think what you focus on, and that it'll bring you more of what you look at. And you know, she was right. She was right on. She said, your emotions. Be careful. She said, be careful what you think. That with the current algorithms of this current matrix system, it is attracted to whatever you think about, it presents more of it to you. But with all this thing happening now, with the bug juice, and looking like a bandit when you go outside, having to look like a bandit, um, you're in a state of fear. So according to her, it's good. The algorithms is going to present to you more fear, more anxiety. It's going to give you what you are focused on in life. So do you think with the movies that they have out now, yes, hello viewer, more computer people, more little bots. Yeah, all these bots. Yeah, this seems to be about an age of a lot of stuff, a lot of how do you say, uh, Agent Smith type characters. Yeah, that's that's what I see. What this year is going to be presenting itself. Um, people pretending, people pretending to be something that they're not, pretending to be some official spies. They're not man or woman enough to just say, "Hey, this is what I'm about," and blah blah blah. But they hide behind their avatars, and you know they're wasting my time and your time. Yeah, don't learn how to hold your ground and to not react to their tricks. Yeah, they're going to continue calling people certain names, whether it be about your race, your gender, your body size, your neighborhood that you live in, all these things, and attack you verbally or physically to try to intimidate you, to pull your energy down, and to feed the matrix. But I'm telling you today to always tell yourself that that you love yourself. Reprogram yourself by saying good things to yourself. To say, I love you. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. Start eating right. And stay away from people who pull you down. To try, my little dog's going to the door. Good watchdog. You stay away. Sometimes you really have to be alone. Sometimes you may have to do that to stay away and to build yourself up. This 11 had crumbled like those two. Come, stop that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So don't crumble like those twin towers, but build yourself up. See, they always see these people with the all-seeing eye. They're always about breaking you down, pulling you down, in order to pull themselves up. Stop pulling yourself up and stay away from these opportunists. Yes, we are always be watched. But you know, hey, give them a show. Be good to yourself. Eat right this New Year's. Save money if you can. That's always good. Do those things that provide you personal wellness. And that life, like this movie, and potentially triggering certain people, it's all a game. None of these people got hurt in the movie. They're all acting. See, they know these guys know that they are actors and actresses. And so when they call each other names, they know it's part of the script. They make fun of each other. It's part of the script. Wow. And if you start to see life, spirit journey, that this is a game, even though you may think it's real. Yes, they might call you names. Yes, injustices happen to me and to you too. But the whole point is to pull you down spiritually because they feed off of it. Well, don't give them that satisfaction. Don't give it to them. Stand your ground. Don't look for trouble. And invite peace in your life every day. Yeah. So that's what I learned about this movie. This is what this movie, Ocean's 11, did for me today. It showed me different archetypes and how you could think life is a bad place. But it's all part of the script. And they're always preparing for something else. And this movie implied at the end that because they were being followed at the end, the lead character, showing that there's going to be more oceans. And yes, there were. There's an Ocean 13, Ocean 12, yeah. I should watch those movies also. Yeah, Hollywood really does reveal a lot of stuff. They're in on it, Hollywood. A lot of fakery, and distractions out there to pull on you, on your emotions. Please don't fall for it. Please try, when you do get triggered, try to go within and talk your way out of it, the emotions, to calm yourself down. And just remind yourself again, this is a show and this is being done to you to get a response. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, it's to get a response from you, to feed off of your energy. The more negativity you give out, the more they're going to give you of that flavor. Even through YouTube, the more types of videos you watch, the more of that type they would give you. And if you notice that they're starting to give you a heavier edge, you're being that's what's being catered to you, and it will give you more and more of it. So you have the option on the top right of each of the thumbnails that don't recommend that channel anymore. Yeah, they have that option. Yeah, they have that. So you may like, we all like watching videos, but you do have the power of certain videos. Don't have them recommend. If you know that, hey, you're getting pulled in, you're getting addicted to seeing certain things on YouTube. Well, they have a button on the thumbnails. It's like three little dots. You click on it, you can have them not recommend that channel or not recommend that video as a way of cleaning out. I just discovered that to clean out the clutter that's being presented to you on YouTube. Yeah. So, yes, empower yourself, take care of yourself and your family. And remember, yes, someone is always watching. So I just say, watch yourself. And maybe you could just give them a show. Yeah. Your life is one big Monopoly game and one big show. And you are part of the source. The source is always with you. Stay close to your maker and be at peace with yourself. With that, I want to say thank you. And those of you who would like to support this channel, you like the content, you can do so by clicking on my PayPal me account. That link you'll find on the right side of my banner on my channel, Spirit Journey. Just click on the link and follow the prompt, and any amount would be greatly appreciated. Peace, love, joy, and power be unto you. Okay? Stay safe, stay secure, and yes, we have a ride that you're going to see this year. But it's okay. Okay? Take care, guys. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.